In this lesson, we will set up and run an injection molding simulation, look at the results and the guided results, identify options to try in order to improve the results. You'll learn how to clone your study to run with different setup conditions, set aesthetic faces, and compare results across different studies. Let's set up and solve an analysis to determine if the plastic bodies of this hedge trimmer design can be injection molded to produce good quality parts. The first time you bring a model into the simulation workspace, the new study dialog launches automatically. Choose the injection molding simulation study, and confirm the target body if your model has more than one body. The study is set up automatically and is ready to run. The setup summary card lists the details of the default study setup and shows the material that has been selected, the processing conditions, and the number of injection locations. One injection location is placed automatically, so rotate your model if you don't see it immediately. Unless your design calls for a specific material, it's a good idea to use the default setup and then iterate with modification as dictated by your results. Click Solve to launch the analysis, and then click Results. As soon as intermediate results become available, the molding process is activated and you can check it for injection molding analysis information. The molding process tells you how the analysis is progressing, logs important facts about the analysis, and summarizes the results. You can view more results as they become available, and tooltips summarize what to expect from the results. The keyboard shortcut shown in the tooltips takes you to the online help, where you can find more information about what the results mean. Guided results are calculated at the end of the packing phase and are a good place to start to check the answers to the fundamental questions: will your part fill? Will your part have visual defects? Will your part warp? You can access guided results both from the toolbar and from the molding process cards. The guided results show that under the setup conditions specified, some areas of the part will be difficult to fill, and this small area is unlikely to fill. The Visual Defects tab shows the presence and location of weld lines and sink marks, which could affect the appearance and structural integrity of the part. And the Warpage tab shows how much the part is likely to warp and where the warpage is likely to occur. You can move the sliders to match your part's actual tolerance to see if the warpage is a significant problem. Since this part must attach to other parts, it's also interesting to see how flat the matching surface is. What can you do if you want to improve the results? If you have the flexibility, changing the material is often a good option. The guided results provide more suggestions appropriate to the problem. In this analysis, to improve the likelihood that the part fills, one recommendation is to move the injection location. Clicking this button returns you to the Setup tab where you can make alterations to study setup. We have a specific material we want to use, so before considering other changes, we'll change the material to the one we actually intend to use. We'll clone the study so we can compare the two studies, then open the materials database and change the material. So you can check the properties of the material before accepting it. We'll also take this opportunity to select the aesthetic faces. That is, the faces that must look good and be free from blemishes. Once selected, aesthetic faces are highlighted for you in green. Now the study is ready to run again. Notice that pre-check is no longer green. The yellow warning means you can run the analysis, but the results may not be ideal. In this case, the injection location is on an aesthetic face, which will leave a mark. Let's move the injection location away from the center of the aesthetic face to somewhere else that, while still on the aesthetic face, is less obtrusive. And now we'll launch the new study. When the analysis is complete and all the results are available, go back to the results to view them. by default the guided results open. The new study setup conditions look like they provide better results, but you can compare the two studies in detail in the results view to confirm. The fill confidence results tells you how likely the part is to fill. Enter compare mode and select the other study for comparison. By default, the model viewpoint is synchronized, so you can zoom, pan, and rotate all models at the same time. Increase the number of windows, and you can compare the warpage results from the two different studies at the same time. Increase the magnification to see the deformation more clearly. As you continue to make changes, remember to clone your study if you want to compare, so you don't overwrite existing results. In this lesson, we set up and ran an injection molding simulation, looked at the results and the guided results, and identified options to try in order to improve the results. We cloned our study to run with different setup conditions, set aesthetic faces, and compared results across different studies.